On December 12th, 1931, Mahatma Gandhi walked into Palazzo Venezia and spent roughly 10 minutes with Benito Mussolini. One man built a movement on nonviolence and voluntary suffering. The other built a state on force, spectacle, and the cult of the leader. What was said, what each side wanted, and how the meeting was used, and what Gandhi wrote after tell us something precise about ideology, power, and the standards we claim to live by. Gandhi was returning from the Second Round Table Conference in London. He stopped in Switzerland with Romain Rolland, then continued to Rome, hoping to see the Pope. Rolland warned him that Mussolini's regime would exploit any meeting. Gandhi replied that if Mussolini wanted to see him, he would go, but not in secret. Italian channels arranged the encounter. Mussolini saw propaganda value in meeting the famous apostle of nonviolence. Gandhi saw an opportunity to observe and, if possible, to speak. The meeting took place at 6 p.m. in Palazzo Venezia. Mussolini rose and crossed the room to greet Gandhi. Marabin, Mahadev, and Desai were present. Desai recorded the questions. Mussolini asked about Italy, the Pope, the Round Table results, India's economy, the Hindu-Muslim question, and the European situation. Gandhi answered directly and briefly. There was no conversion, no alliance, and no real meeting of minds. Gandhi later remarked on Mussolini's restless, cat-like eyes. Almost immediately, an Italian newspaper published a false interview attributing aggressive anti-British statements to Gandhi. The fabrication caused diplomatic friction and forced Gandhi to issue denials. Rolland's warning had proved accurate. The visit was turned into a propaganda material. On December 20th, while still at sea, Gandhi wrote to Romain Rolland. He called Mussolini a riddle. Certain reforms attracted him: attention to the peasantry, resistance to over urbanization, attempts to coordinate capital and labor. He acknowledged the iron hand and noted that force is the basis of Western society. He detected sincerity and love of country and observed that many Italians appeared to accept the regime. His fundamental objection remained: the reforms were compulsory. The meeting is a case study in the collision of standards. Gandhi's nonviolence was not a costume, it was the method he actually practiced. Mussolini's power was built on force and theatrical legitimacy. Curiosity brought them into the same room. Propaganda tried to claim the encounter. A private letter recorded the honest tension. For creative practice, the parallel is clear. We all construct standards of integrity, focus, originality, or philosophical consistency. When those standards meet, convenience, audience pressure, or the desire for influence, the gap between proclamation and practice appears. The honest options remain the same: recommit to the standard or openly revise it. Silent drift turns principle into performance. Gandhi left Rome with a private judgment and no political alliance. Mussolini gained a brief propaganda moment. The standards each man lived by remain unchanged. That is the usable lesson. Watch the gap between the principles you claim and the methods you actually use. That gap is where integrity is kept or lost. Key sources. If this kind of examination of an ideology, power, and personal standards is useful, consider subscribing.